Trump's FTC launches an investigation into media matters, and I totally support this, and I hope they get destroyed, actually. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I've been a target of media matters. It's unfair. They're money laundering back into Democrats anyways. It's George Soros-Funded Act Blue, just deep state Democrat garbage. It's anti-news, anti-media. It only takes on one side. We're going to take a look at it together. And I'll go into the personal cost it has cost me because of their lying paranoia. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've subscribed to support my own independent journalism as entertainment.
Just wanted to give you a chance in sort of the broad sweep of everything you've added to our understanding of Project 2025 and their intention in terms of the intentionality for how they want to use the federal government to target critics. How you see yourself and your organization in that arc.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear what's going on here, given our history. And I think that's the right question. Obviously, I can personalize it and talk about how much it affects us and what that means. And the bigger thing is that this is clearly an illustration and a lesson and an application of what their agenda was written down very plainly, which is to weaponize and abuse government to silence or suppress critics or people they perceive or entities they perceive as political opponents. And
he's full of caca. I'm going to prove it to you right now. He says it's the Trump administration that is targeting political dissent. I'm going to take you back to this day on this Media Matters article. Let's take a look at this one together. This is YouTube is ground zero for fraudulent election audit advocacy. This was from 2021. Rumor has it that this is why all of us got our channel shut down, was because of this article. I don't know that to be true. I do know that all of us who are, and I mentioned in this article, my channel specifically, and all of us who were mentioned in this article, they knocked my channel down within about 15 minutes of my other people mentioned in this article. YouTube channel spreading lies about the 2020 election and pushing for election audits. That is, people who went for audits. Now, here's Behizzy, first one mentioned. Now, Behizzy went down within about 15 minutes of my channel going down. There's Quentin, Out of the Darkness Q. This is one of my very dear friends. And his channel went down within about 15 minutes of my channel going down on YouTube. That's Quentin. Here's Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. Now here's my channel. Ta-da! This is one of my second or third channels by the time this one got killed. But yeah, they would just get wiped out as soon as we would put them up. Julie Green Ministries. Here's Nick Masader. They're all over on Rumble now. Here's Neil Johnson. He was one who didn't get removed. For a long time, he was demonetized, and now he's monetizing it. Another dear friend of mine is him. And then CanCon. Here's David Cares for You. I could just go down this whole list. Gail Golick. This is Arizona Conservative News, Scottsdale Studios. They would just interview people. There's Liz Harris. There's Marcus D. People. But what ended up happening is they shut my channel down. By the way, my channel at the month before that went down, it made $150,000 in ad revenue in 1 month. I don't know if that's what caused it to be taken down, but my channel at one point was getting 25,000 subscribers a day, and it shot up to 450,000 subscribers. That was my other channel. Media Matters had no problem with targeting political opponents. We just had different opinions. I don't even know if I agree with all that. It doesn't matter. It's, you don't shut down dissent, and that they always go like, oh no, this is dangerous misinformation, dangerous misinformation. Well, I'll only point to Media Matters saying that Biden was sharp as a tack and cognitively inclined. So they are dangerous misinformation. So by their own standards, they should be taken down. And he's going to talk about financial cost and financial targeting and all this stuff. I hope they lose everything, because they're writing an article on me, for all I know, cost me about $1 million in lost income. You know, I mean, literally where I could barely afford working the last 4 years. I've had to basically scrape and scratch because of it. So Media Matters, no sympathy for you. I hope you remain in ruin. We're going to go back to that video just so we can let them embarrass themselves in their lies.
This is just another illustration and example of that. And I would be a little hypocritical if I said we're going to tuck tail. It's terrible and it's terrifying. It's going to be a really hard slog. And unlike the other players,
no, good. I hope you experience 1/10 of my terror and slog over the last 4 years. That is not out of revenge, but so you can feel what it's like to walk in another man's shoes of what you did to so many other channels that still aren't on YouTube. Some of them got destroyed and never came back.
They've gone after, major multi-billion-dollar companies. This is a little bit different in both in terms of the scale. We are not. We punch pretty far above our weight, but we're not Disney or Viacom.
Yeah, neither was I. Disney or Viacom. I was a small guy punching above his weight. I don't know if you're capable of empathy or even sympathy. I don't know if you're capable of introspection or reflection, but maybe you'll learn a little bit of what I feel like. I think you're getting this is an opportunity for you to feel for a few seconds what I've felt for 4 years. I don't think you care, first of all. You absolutely don't care. This is about getting caught. This is like you and Jake Tapper are the same thing. You just got caught, and now you got to pretend like you're all humble. But when you're in power and all of media agrees with you, when YouTube, Google, Facebook, and Twitter are all using the FBI to collide, when they're all on the same thing, and everyone who is on the right supporting Trump, that we're all lunatics, conspiracy theorists, white supremacists. When you have the cultural dominance, it is time to pull out the steamroller and destroy any dissenting opinion.
We are going to have a real hard fight here, but we remain steadfast. And I think that's important to illustrate, that if you don't at least stand firm in these moments,
I agree.
That's how you let them, or at least help pave the way for the changes that they make. And
here's why I'm better than Media Matters, because I would actually fight for bringing you back on the platform and fight for your free speech, even though I find you a lying, duplicitous jerk. See, if you were back in power, you'd still be advocating for removing me from YouTube. That's why I'm better than you, because I actually believe in a principle, and you don't.
I don't like having people's voices taken away. Part of you having to learn what it's like to own your own convictions is, even if it costs you your job and your entire company, sometimes you have to fight. That's what I did, Media Matters, because of you and your George Soros Act Blue money. That's what I did. I hope you're investigated. I hope you have to get like a rectal exam.
The last thing I'll just say, and I think this is a critical part, is that this was a part of their plan, very plainly written. They had a strategy. They deployed it. It's in action right now. And I think that broadly there needs to be a counter response that isn't just piecemeal. And one thing is that eventually it's just going to be a domino effect of caving in one place.
Oh, the dominoes. He brought up dominoes.
Yeah, domino effect of caving.
That's a favorite word of the right. He used the dominoes are falling. We used to get our videos demonetized and taken down if we said the dominoes are falling. Dominoes was a whistle, a dog whistle. Now he goes, the dominoes are set up. How ironic. Media Matters.
Except another, either caves or breaks. Or at some point, the institutions concerned about protecting civic spaces will recognize that they have to neutralize the tactic.
Now, I just want you to think about for just a second, Media Matters, because I still don't think you have a heart rolling around in your chest. Imagine if you mentioned the word dominoes in your video and it got demonetized and pushed down so no one could see it. Welcome to our world, and I'm so glad we're back. I'm so glad YouTube invited me back on the platform. I can't thank them enough. I just hope you taste one little bit, 1/10 of what I had to taste, just so you'll learn.
You think a principle is something that you raise up on an opponent and then lower it for your own side. That's not what a principle is, Media Matters. Grow up, little kid. You know what you could do if Media Matters wants to really do a full prove your empathy and prove that you think it's really bad to go after your political opponents, which you're accusing the Trump administration of doing. You can write a retraction article on Media Matters and go back in and say, I was wrong for trying to stop Doug TenNaples' channel, Behizzy's channel, CanCon, Nick Masader, Q. You could do all of that, but you won't because you don't really mean it. You don't believe in the principle of free speech.
I'm Doug, in exile.